You know, for some reason, Forrest Gump, a particularly good film on its own, was actually going to get a follow-up called Gump and Co. And yet they decided to cancel it though. I can't actually think of the reason why, but at least according to most people, I believe that Forrest Gump is pretty much quite okay on its own. Even so, it seems like all three films all wrapped into one. So, basically, Forrest Gump is pretty much its own trilogy, don't you think? There was another film I was thinking of having a sequel, at least though. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is the live-action remake with Nicolas Cage. Because, it had a cliffhanger at the end though. It's not particularly great though, the film though, but I still feel like something else should happen along the way though. But I think it depends on how much money it made on opening weekend. Like I said, it's not great, but I don't know, I was thinking about it for a long while and waiting for it at least though, so yeah. However, the Die Hard films starring Bruce Willis are not cash grabs. They are just a continuing story with John McClane as he continues to battle crooks and robbers along the way though. Even though they are a little bit hit and miss though. In particularly with the fifth Die Hard film, A Good Day to Die Hard though, which almost became the film that pretty much ended the franchise altogether though. Even though we are going to get a prequel sometime in the not too distant future, starring a younger John McClane, with of course Bruce Willis himself returning, so it could be a wonder what actually might happen though, considering his age though, so yeah, it's quite a possibility though. As well as Toy Story 3 though, there is another animated Pixar sequel that many people have been waiting years and years and years for to see. And that was Finding Dory. And thank God did that film happen though. We waited years to see that film happen though. It seems like a prediction though, considering how popular Dory is, that we wanted to get a film about her own solo adventure. Considering that film came out 14 years after Finding Nemo. Wow. But at least it was worth the wait, and that film happened. So, good on that. However, there is one film series that is considered to be the greatest of all time, but has quite an unnecessary sequel. The Godfather films, which has one great film and having a follow-up later on though, even though the story itself is considerably all one book though, but then was divided into two parts at least though. Until quite several other years later they made The Godfather Part 3, which is not considerably as well refined as the first two, because apparently it had wooden acting from Sofia Coppola, who is the director of Francis Ford Coppola though. And seems a bit unnecessary, I believe, according to most people which I've heard though. But at least it had some good moments, at least as far as I heard though. But from other people I've heard on YouTube before, I believe The Godfather Part 3 is an epilogue of the Godfather series, as it's really meant to end with The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2, which I believe are the only two films that should stand out though. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it though. The Godfather Part 3 though, as I've heard, is good, though not that good though. The only thing that brings it down is Sofia Coppola's bad acting though. Which is so far as I've heard as well though, yeah. Oh yeah, we also managed to get a second Dumb and Dumber, at least 5 15 years after the first Dumb and Dumber, although in 2003 we did get an unnecessary prequel that followed though, as far as I've heard. But at least we got a second Dumb and Dumber. Speaking of Dumb and Dumber, I believe that everyone has been looking forward to seeing a third Ace Ventura. Despite that, Jim Carrey did at least 2 films as Ace Ventura back in 1994 and 1995. Which, of course, those films were linked and were only done at least 17 years ago, I don't know. But people are actually hyped to see Jim Carrey return as Ace Ventura, at least for a third time. Despite the fact we had an unnecessary follow-up with Ace Ventura's son, Ace Ventura Jr. I don't know if it was the right choice or the wrong choice to involve his son, which has nothing to do with Jim Carrey at all though. But I don't know. Oh yeah, there's another film. I feel like probably shouldn't have had any more films after that though. The Home Alone films. The first Home Alone was a Christmas classic. And despite it had like 5 more films following after it though, people feel like, should I really do though? Despite the fact that it had other films that did not include Macaulay Culkin. I don't know if I said its name right. Most of us feel like it was unnecessary, considering they want to continue the franchise without Culkin. And just go with a different actor and not reboot it, just keep going with the same franchise. And I believe that was the point of what was going on, considering I've not seen those films in a long while, but I might be starting to see the point where studios are starting to cash in on something that most people did not really need at all, really. And we're just okay with some films that stand completely on their own, and are just fine at that, though. But I'm not talking about the Disney remakes, at least, though. They're a bit hit and miss, though. And that's all I have to bring about for this update, though. It's been at least so much I can bring about, though. There are so many films that you feel like they have so much potential, though. For better or for worse, though. But at least some films are still going on strong, though. Which is why I'm targeting some films I believe should actually keep going. According to at least my opinion a bit, though. But I only decided to make this video, so apparently you can get the idea, so you can understand it a bit more. Because it gets a little bit lonesome when other videos are not actually doing something like this, though. And probably next week or something, I might do a video of films that I might do at animation when I return to doing animation films again, along with The Amazing Spider-Man 3, which I'm still doing a script on, and we'll get back to it as soon as I'm actually done with it, though. And like I said, I'll keep it as real as I possibly can, though. Make it feel real so you can actually, because I'm actually working on film studies at college right now, though, and started working on some exposition on how films are actually done, though, so you can get the gist of it, though, and start to feel what you can see. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again with more videos to come. Okay. Ta-da.